Well,
It's...
if you put that on YouTube, that'll be worse than the fucking BMW one.
Hey everybody, it's Dick here. Today I'm on the 2020 Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE Grand Touring Edition. The Versys is a 4-stroke liquid-cooled inline 4-cylinder engine. It is 118 horsepower with 102 newton-meters of torque at 7,500 RPM. It has an 840mm or 33-inch seat height. The spec sheet says it has a full TFT display, whatever that means, with an analog tachometer. Creature features include heated grips, cruise control, rider modes, and electronic suspension. It is a 6-speed, chain-driven final drive with a quick shifter and blipper. The SE GT edition comes with hard luggage and a top case, fog lights, and all of the bells and whistles Kawasaki has to throw at it. I've never ridden a Kawasaki, so let's take it for a ride and see what all the hubbub is about.
So rusted KLR there. And then this fucking thing. Wallet, phone, keys. It's a little tall. Oh, it's very comfortable right off the bat. And the clutch is insanely light. Huh. All right, get your wits about you. Okay. This is odd sensation, I gotta say. Hey everybody, it's Dick here. I'm on the all-new Versys 1000. It's a Kawasaki, believe it or not. I have had a couple of requests to try out the Versys, mostly after I think it was the Honda Africa Twin and my BMW rides and the Tracer 900, and I never could find a Kawasaki dealer in or around London that would have why are my heated grips on? My heated grips are on. Auto canceling third signals? No. Alright, my hands are boiling now. Alright, get your head around this thing. This thing, in the Star Trek reboot. Oh god, here we go. I'm already in 6th gear, and it's a blind turn. Thanks, guys. Blind turn, blind rise. In the Star Trek reboot, it's dangerous. Well, it's got some beans. Here, where were they? In the Star Trek reboot by J.J. Abrams with Chris Pine playing Captain Kirk. When he was a kid, he stole his stepdad's Mustang, I think it was, and drove it off the cliff of a quarry. And the policeman that was chasing him it was questionable whether the policeman was a robot or not. He looked robotic and spoke robotic, but I don't know if that was just his safety gear. Anyway, he was riding this hover bike. That's the best way I can describe what this bike feels like. It feels like a hover bike. It's all very soft and refined and squishy. I wonder if the shifter, the toe shifter, is electronic, because you can't feel it ticking into gear. There's nothing mechanical. There's nothing mechanical about it. Whoop. Okay, I'm trying this quick shifter and I'm fucking the bike up. Oh, I guess it's third gear? That's a odd sensation. I'm gonna fucking wipe out. Alright. I don't know how the quick shifter works. I'm in sport mode. Horses. Okay. I don't know if I want to be in sport mode. I don't want the traction control off. It's rained pretty much through here. Don't know how to change the mode. The TFT display is not bad. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Guess I'm stuck in sport mode. They just fucking left me. There we go. Road mode. All right, I'm in 6th gear. I don't want to do that. Yeah, the shifters. What's that?
What do you think of this? Like that.
It's confusing. There's already a tear in the seat. I didn't do it.
I don't think you swap your gears for that.
Not in a million years.
Well, would you have that or the Tiger 900?
This
Would.
Tiger 900 has vibrations from 3,900 RPM to redline. How do I turn it on? Oh, this thing. That's cheap shit, isn't that?
Well, no, yeah, but that's...
Look at that. That's sad. Hey everybody, it's Dick here. I'm on the 2020 Kawasaki Versys 1000. It's an inline 4,000cc. This is the SE Grand Touring Edition. It's got everything that Kawasaki offers on an adjustable screen, TFT display, whole fuckload worth of rider modes, electronic suspension. The electronic suspension, I'm told by the salesman, is dynamic, which means no matter what you set it at, it's still looking at what you're doing. So it's kind of anti-dive in the front, it's firming up at the back. It was on, I don't know if you can see it on the screen right now, but now it's on 2 people with luggage. Rider passenger with luggage, because on the single rider it wasn't firm enough, but I was still getting the rear end skipping out a little bit on some really sharp turns. The shifter, the toe shifter, feels really weird. It's like spring loaded, so it doesn't feel mechanical in any way. You don't feel when you engage it into gear, it just kind of slips there, and then when you're going down, if you get to 1st gear, your foot can just bounce on it. It just bounces like you're bouncing on a spring, like you're going to snap it, like there's too much play in it. I didn't know which Kawasaki to try because I know nothing about Kawasaki. I've never had an opportunity to ride Kawasaki's. There is a loyal following to Kawasaki's by Kawasaki owners, and I'm not really entirely sure why that is. The engines are, I think, overly powerful. They're strung out. Maybe that's what the allure is. I came in with an open mind because I had no expectations of what Kawasaki had to offer. And I'm still trying to keep an open mind the more time I spend on this thing, but it's very comfortable. I mean, it's very cush. But there's just something that's not there for me, not right completely for me. I changed this preload back to one person, and I'm going to change the mode to road. I wonder if there's a heated seat on this because my ass is warm. It might just be the heat of the engine coming up back to my legs. Luckily it's a cooler day than it's been. You know, the spec sheet ticks all the boxes of what this adventure styled sport tourer should have. It's supposed to be a quick shifter. There you go. Quick shifters are odd because you have to stay on the throttle, but when you're shifting, there's a blipper too. Okay, I'm getting the blip. But when you're used to shifting, you roll off the throttle anyway, so you have to kind of change your habits in riding for it to be a quick shifter, to be able to use a quick shifter. And before, I don't know, maybe I was rolling off the throttle and not keeping it engaged enough for it to actually work. But I don't know, I do love engaging a clutch lever. So it's got a little TFT display under this hood, which makes it readable. There's a lot of information. It's very straightforward. There's nothing flashy about it. It's rectangular. It's not on any fun angle or anything. It's got a little dial there for RPM, which I hadn't noticed, so I've just been listening to it. I do like... Ooh, here's a bump. Let's see. Not as harsh as I thought it would be. The bike is very hot between my legs. So I rolled off and did the quick shifter, which was a bit more forgiving to me than before. Oh, it's a bit of a bear coming around those turns. Very smooth. I mean, it's not snatchy at all in the throttle. The throttle is very smooth. That last gear, that lowest gear. Ooh, ugly turn. That lowest gear where you're trying to like see if you've bottomed out in first. It just springs. I feel like I'm gonna snap it off. When I was first riding my BMW 700 GS, I said it did everything fine, but it was a bit boring. This thing whines like it shouldn't be boring. It's making all the right noises, it's doing everything we need to do. Oh God! Holy shit, that's heavy.
Is that firmed it up at all?
It was too firm. I went back to one.
Oh, it doesn't stay.
It doesn't. It's not. There's no sweet spot. There's no Goldilocks. You know, right here I almost dropped it. It's really heavy. It's really top heavy, and I didn't notice it when I was riding it. But right here, when I came up in this little gravel, I almost tipped it. It's got a power port, it's got fog lights, it's got this whole f***ing Game Boy cluster here. I'm not impressed with that select. I don't know what that select button does. Getting the kickstand down is a fucking... what the fuck? Come on. Some sort of rubber stopper for pillion boots. You know what? It's an inline 4. It doesn't have the same magic as my 600 inline 4. Am I not giving it a fair shake, or is it just shit?
No, shit.
Okay. I expected more, even though I expected nothing. Oh God, I'm gonna drop the goddamn thing too. Because they did that thing, most of these adventure sport tourer things have short kickstands, and everyone gets the extenders. But they're like, no, we're gonna do one better. We're gonna make it longer. But the problem is, the reason they put the short ones on is because of stuff like this. So now I have a long thing, and I have to go to my off camber to get the kickstand up. Look at how long this kickstand is, and I can't even get it. Okay, so. Oh God. Just stalled it. Why? Oh God. Well, you feel the weight. There's a little off-roading for you. You didn't try it properly off-road. Well, there you go. I tried it properly off-road. I don't know. Part of me thinks I'm not giving this a fair shake, but part of me thinks, you know, first impressions are important. It is heavy, or it feels heavy. It definitely felt heavy when I almost dropped it. I feel high on it, and until I almost dropped it, I didn't feel like the seat height was dangerously high. I don't know. This is just confusing to me. A nice road. Just stone and oil. Ooh, that's, oh God. Skid risk. Max 10 miles an hour, 23 miles an hour. Definitely back there I felt like I was gonna skid. Oh, we're getting a run for I don't know. I want to say stuff about this, everybody. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling it's hard to catch up with, but not in a good way. It feels like when you get into like a rental car and you're just not familiar with where everything is and what the switches are, and you know, it's all clean and nice and it's a good spec or whatever, but it's when you're done with the rental, you're happy to get back the keys. I'll be happy to get back these keys. Fuck. Oh my God. I know if I have to do an emergency stop, I'm dropping this thing. That's why I'm going slow around these blind curves. There is a bit of reassurance that I have two other riders ahead of me, but they're getting further and further ahead of me, which means I don't know what I'm running into, which means when I slam on these brakes, I'm dropping it right side. Let's see, can I start from second? Yeah, I'm not surprised I can start from second. There's a bit of the inline four character in nature. Hello. Yep, that's it. In an alternate universe, I was dead there. I'm in 6th gear. Why? Why am I in 6th gear? Sounds like it's really working. I'm in 4th gear, 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour. For 3,800 RPM, 3,500 RPM. Red line starts at 10,000 RPM, but I really feel like it's spinning high. And not spinning high like, oh, it's an inline four. It should be spinning high. It just seems like it's spinning high unnecessarily. I do get a little more response in the engine running it out like this, though. See, the thing about these is that there's just a little cheap.
Always on the suspension.
Yeah, I just feel like they're asking about the same money as something that's a lot better.
If you like that video and you want to see more like them, hit like, share, and subscribe.